an accident which would result in some sort of a detonation over there in ancient Persia, now known as Iran. And I'm wondering if it's like, well, what if somebody just decided, you know what, let's just set them back a ways. Let's just arrange a little problem, a little technical problem that results in a nuclear detonation over there at one of these plants where they're developing this thing. What do you suspect the reaction to that would be? Would the whole world go on high alert at that point, or would it be like, oh, well, they screwed up, they were trying to make a bomb and it went off in their faces? You know what I mean? Or do you even want to touch this?
We've already tried it. And, of course, we will never take credit for it. We will never take the blame for it. But we tried to plant an internal computer bug into the Iranian missile systems and the nuclear systems. And it did set them back. But it only set them back about 6 months. And they were, of course, able to find it, undo it, the same way like with our high technology on our computer systems. If you get a worm, if you get a bug, if you get, a Trojan or something in there, sure, it's going to hurt you, but all it did was ding them. And many are saying right now that realistically, they've got so many plants, they've got so much stuff going on, they're continuing to add centrifuges, they're continuing to refine this stuff in spread out areas, that even the Israelis look at this and say, in terms of an attack, where do you start? Where do you start? Mm-hmm. That's the bad thing.
Yeah, and the worst part is, where do you stop?
Amen, brother.
Well, anything else get your attention the last remaining minute or two, or maybe 3 that we have here? Anything else on the scope there that looks ugly and threatening, might scare everybody to death here in the middle of the night?
Well, now that you brought me on and I seem to be the good news guy, right? I mean, look at the Mayan calendar for December 21st or something like that. No, sir, I don't really have much other than to say that, other than, times like this, there really has not been times like this. We're looking at rogue nations that are sitting on both sides of us, that have really, in many ways, one goal in mind, and that is bring down the United States as either we know it today or in many ways as we used to know it. And you're looking at an administration that, like even with the North Korean problem right now, if they allowed the technicians to be there, if this rocket had been launched, we didn't seem to have the cojones to be able to push the button on an Aegis cruiser and be able to shoot it down. It was going to go up into launch, and the Iranians were sitting over there on the other side going, you know what? The U.S. is not going to do anything to us if they allow them to do that, because North Korea has continued to violate treaty after treaty after treaty. Scary times, John. Good thing you've got a show like yours.
Well, it's a good thing we have guests like you on and the audience that we have, because they are unsurpassed for being dialed in and they pay attention. And I'll tell you, if they catch you doing something wrong, they'll let you know about it real quick. If they catch an inaccuracy, they're going to tell you about it. They're going to tell the whole world about it because of that bloody internet. Sometimes I wish I had a kill switch on the thing myself. You have a book out, your latest book, The Terrorism Survival Guide, 201 travel tips on how not to become a victim. And where can everybody get that?
It's real easy. I mean, if they'd like to order a copy, it's an ebook at this point. And all they have to go is to travelsafetytips.com, information about how to order it. And it should be fine, provide a lot of good information for anybody that's an international traveler. Because, again, it's not a question of if the terrorists are going to attack again to the United States.
They're going to do it.
Somebody out. It's a question of just when.
Come back soon, Andy. Andy Lightbody. Travelsafetytips.net is what I see. Coast will return with Hendrik Palmgren.